Hey, what's going on, MK, Melissa King? Hey, I saw your video today, man. You and baby girl is really killing that TikTok thing. That's awesome. I love it. I can't get mine to do
Look,
nothing.
did you
I
see
ain't
the
see the blooper.
blooper reel though?
I'm gonna go back and check it out.
The one-
Take two, take
yeah,
three.
go back and check out the blooper reel because that was the real work. I had put on the thing. We make it look easy, but
Okay,
no, we did about
practice makes
14
better.
takes.
Okay, it's
Right.
all good. All right, let's
And
dive into
then
some. You
okay,
ready to dive
okay,
into some?
okay. Yep, we ain't gonna be on here long, as we always say.
Yeah,
Uh, I'm Melissa King. This is my partner or my business associate, my mentor, my guru,
yeah,
my
girl, stop.
financial
Girl, stop it. Stop
guidance
it. Stop it. Stop.
uh, professor with
Yeah,
an honorary
the great
PhD.
Tony the
Look,
Great.
Tony the Great with the honorary PhD in finance,
Right.
issued by the School of Hard Knocks.
Hard dog.
Yeah,
Mhm. That's great.
and we are here to talk to y'all about business. It's
Mm,
2022. We've
yeah.
been on 2022 like white on rice,
Mhm.
trying to get people motivated. This
Yeah.
is the perfect time to start working on your finances. It's the beginning of the year. This is
Hmm.
when we ain't even gonna call it a resolution. We're gonna
Yeah.
call it a lifestyle change. Hey,
Yeah.
Robert King. We got Robert King on from Facebook. Says good night, Miss. Good night to you too.
Okay.
Uh, Good to see you, Robert King. Um, yeah, this is a new year. This is the perfect time to like start getting your ducks in a row.
Yeah.
It's almost like a fresh start, like a
It is.
first thing in the morning
Yeah.
when you
Yeah.
wake up, and it's like
Hmm.
the possibilities are endless.
Endless. Girl, I love that motivational. Girl, go, go. Go, okay, go.
Yeah. So go
Yeah.
on and catch. Y'all need to go on and work with that now while it's still fresh and while you
Yeah.
still feel like
Right.
I can take charge of this year
Yeah.
right now.
Right. Yeah. But January
So
is getting away real fast. I'm telling you, it's like the 17th. Like next
right, it
thing you
was
know, it's
just
gonna be
New Year's.
December the 17th
We was
before you
just
know it.
doing New Year's, and now it's like
Okay.
uh, the end of the month.
Y'all
So
keep y'all keep waiting and watching. The months are flying by us. And I'm telling y'all, if nobody learned anything from the coronavirus up to the Omicron, and there's always something out there that's going to try to attack us. And the first thing they attack is not just the body, but the mental and the physical and the financial. Everything start to tank, man. So look, I know we can't fix everything, but what we do have is a solution to millions of people problems out there, and that's the finances, right?
right,
Yeah,
right.
we got a workable, affordable solution if people just listen to what we have to say and implement, not just listen, but take action. It's always
Right.
about taking action. You can have all the information, but if you do nothing with it, it's almost like you've never heard it, right?
Boy, you said a mouthful with it.
Oh
Cause
man.
like, hey Pandy, Pandy's on. Um,
Andy.
she said, hey, Melissa and Tony.
Yeah, my
Um,
girl.
yeah. It's just like if you got it and you don't use it, what's
Yeah.
the benefit?
You're gonna lose
Almost like that brings me back to the game.
it. Mm,
Remember the game you was asking the question? Would you
yeah,
rather have $900 in
yeah,
travel rewards, or would
yeah.
you
Or
rather have $300 cash?
in cash. And
So
you know
it's
what,
like,
Melissa? What I like the fact is that we're creating options for people, better options and better choices. Some people get stuck with what they have, like they dealing with the cards that are dealt, and the
yeah,
cards that most people are dealt is the old, outdated way of making money. And ain't nothing wrong with a job, y'all. But I'm telling you, a job alone is not enough these days because jobs will fail you. Just like man, it's like if something happens with their job where they're not making any money, there's no profit, they're gonna start cutting folks. And then the people that get cut first is the ones at the bottom. Well,
yeah,
some at the top mostly, but mostly at the bottom. And then there you go
or the
start all
middle,
over again. Yeah,
or the middle
yeah.
people.
So
They
hey,
don't
look,
cut
let's
the
talk
middle
about
one.
You remember we were talking about a lot of people join our company, and it's like they get stuck in their mentality. It's like, okay, I'm thinking as a business owner, but an employee, but this is a business, y'all. This is a workable business that you can implement with your job. Let's don't
Right.
get these two confused. The same $20 you make on your job is not the same $20 you make in your business.
That's a good
That there's a
point.
big difference between the two $20 that you make in your business, right? Because we're
Right.
saying, hey, it took some gas to for this $20 in your business. It took the cell phone that I'm using in my business. So you can't be taxed on that money that you're making through your business because you had to do some things to get that $20, and the government will allow you to keep all of that $20. But the $20 you make on your job, they're going to tax that $20. And that $20
Hmm.
ain't $20 no more. You might bring home out of the $20, you might bring home what? Let's say 12, $15. Is
Yeah.
that what's 30,
About 15.
whatever. Yeah, you're not bringing the whole thing. So we want to teach y'all how to
And
take
then
control of the taxes.
don't forget, on top of that, they already taxed you $20. But
Yeah,
when you go to the restaurants or the retail stores, you
yeah,
still gonna get taxed again. So
yeah,
your money get taxed several times, and it's
yeah,
that same $20 that everybody
yeah,
pulling their little plug out of it.
yeah,
And by the time you get through, you done
yeah.
made what, maybe $5
Right.
versus
Man, I'm
20.
telling you, the tax system for the working class is not being taught. And that's why we all struggle. Employees will struggle, especially
Mm-hmm.
middle class. Now, here's the thing, you can make a low wage, and the government has all of this assistance. They're giving you food stamps, they're giving you credit on this and credit on that. But I'm telling y'all, you start getting up into the middle class, like 50, 60, 70,000, $80,000, man, they're going to be like, hey, let's tax them till we can't tax them no more. And the only way you can get that money back is really simply to become a business owner and start writing off your lifestyle. You know,
Right. Right, because it's
man.
hard when you stuck in that middle part
Yeah,
where you're not qualified for certain things, but
yeah,
then you're not making the money as the bigger businesses or business owners. So it really is the middle. The middle
it's a
sucks.
middle. Yeah. And they slowly squeezing us out. Either you're gonna be on the bottom end or you're gonna be at the top end. And it's really hard to get at the top end where you don't even be
Right.
concerned about the money. But it's easily to fall to a lower scale of income. And we teach that in our business. It's like everything that you're spending money on can become a tax deductible expense. And that lowers your taxable income down, right? All
Right.
the way down to a point where you pay no taxes at all. It ain't nothing wrong with not paying any taxes. No taxes.
Right.
That's what the rich been doing for years. They make all of this money, but they
Hmm.
also utilize the tax system to keep most of their money. That's what we
Right.
teaching y'all today. Yeah.
Right. Because the tax game, eh, it's like you don't realize it, but that's really what it's all about. It's all about lowering your taxable income because like I've said before, I can have a job making $10 an hour
Hmm.
and have my own business,
Hmm.
and I'm keeping that. I think that comes out to about 21,000. I'm
Hmm.
keeping that money because I'm writing off everything, and I'm
Yeah.
gonna lower that 21,000 down to almost zero.
Right.
So in
Right.
that case, I'm keeping all my money. Whereas you may be making three times what I make,
Hmm.
but they taxing you three times what I make.
Right.
So it's almost like more money, more problems. So the higher you get as a W-4 employee, the more taxes they're gonna take out,
Hmm.
and if you're not doing anything to get deductions, then you basically are gonna end up being on the same level if that or maybe less than that $10 an hour employee because they're keeping more of their money.
Hmm.
It's
Hey,
not
Melissa,
how we always say.
keep
It's not
talking.
what you
Keep
make.
talking.
It's what you keep.
Keep talking. I'm gonna run and get my charger right quick, okay?
Okay.
Um, hey, when I get back, let's talk little bit more about, since this is tax refund season. Let's talk a little bit more about how our company helps people understand how the tax refund thing work. I'll be right back.
Okay. And while Tony's going to do that, shout out to Darnell Maxwell. Thank you so much for sharing the live. I saw where Darnell shared it uh, over on Facebook. So we appreciate that. We appreciate everybody that's tuning in. If you want to say hello, hit the chat. Um, yeah, this week has gone by fast but slow. Me and my daughter were talking about that earlier today. It was a short week because of the King holiday, but then it still seemed like it kind of lingered. So it went by fast, but then at the same time, it was slow. Let me see. Robert King says, sometimes the tax is higher than the pay. It can work out that way. Especially if you're doing a lot of overtime, it seems like the taxes are higher than the actual payout, because I've been on that side where I've worked like for a 2-week period. I might have 30, almost 40 hours of overtime. Oh, they really finna was eating me up. And by the time you looked at how much you actually brought home versus their wear and tear on your body of working 40 extra hours in a 2-week period, because it's almost like 60 hours a week. So it wasn't even really worth it. But then we didn't have a choice. That's another thing about a W-4 job. A lot of times they don't give you a choice. You have to work that overtime. So, you just feeding more money. So, okay, you want to talk about income tax season.
Oh yeah, yeah. Oh, this is a big one right here, y'all. This is the biggest one for me, is to help people understand how tax refunds work. And we know that tax refund means your money again, right? That
Right.
means literally overpaid. You overpaid your taxes. And Melissa, I think she always talked about, she thought she never understood the formula of how you get a tax refund.
I didn't
Well,
know how it worked.
yeah. So you know what? It's almost like we have to explain to y'all that if you work a W-2 job, your W-4 is the reason why you're overpaying, because we're correcting a common mistake that most people make on their jobs. You start a job and they give you a piece of paper and they tell you to fill it out. Now, this piece of paper comes with poor instructions. Therefore, most people don't know what to do. They'll go in and say how many kids you have. One, they'll put one down, sign their name, and turn it into HR. Little do most people know that putting one on that form, you are telling the government to keep most of your money once you get paid through a payroll deduction. So that's
Mm-hmm.
where the overpayment comes in at. Yeah, do y'all understand what I'm saying? Is if you fill out that W-4 form wrong, you're literally telling the government, take as much money out of my paycheck as you want.
Right. And the thing I always say, like these days, you can't even go in there and put one.
Right.
They've changed the form up so much that now you have to put a dollar amount of how much you want them to take out of your paycheck. And
Yeah.
if you don't know the formula or how to calculate it, what you gonna put on there? You don't know what to put on there.
Right.
And I think, I try not to be a conspiracy theorist, but I
Yeah.
think that's by design. They
Yeah.
don't want you to know what to put on there. Because if you know how to fill the form out where you are, let's say, breaking even, where you're
Hmm.
not going to get a refund, but you're also not going to have to pay back, that
Hmm.
means you are essentially having them to take out exactly what they are supposed to. So for all the people that's overpaying, that money is, the government or the government basically is
The
taking that
powers
money
to be
and putting it towards right and putting it towards their own investments,
with their
because
own agenda.
they got
Yeah.
until the end of the year to give you that money back. So if they've been taking, like in my case, when I changed my W-4, but this was also after I added on home-based business, so I did have some additional deductions. So um I ended up getting an additional 400 and some change back a paycheck. So think about it like this. Prior to me updating my W-4, Uncle Sam was getting 900 a month of my money that they can take and put it on here, 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 and grow it, right? They've invested in stuff. They're earning interest off whatever they've invested in. And all they got to do is at the end of the year, make sure they give me back what I'm supposed to have. I don't get any of the interest they've earned off any of the things they've invested in.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like they're taking your money, making it work for them. And
Mm-hmm.
technically, they're not doing anything wrong because they are giving you your refund.
Mm-hmm.
But think about what you could have done with that money if you were bringing it home in your paycheck. You know,
Mm-hmm.
so many times I'm used to hearing people say, and I think I saw a meme the other day where it was saying, um, it's officially, I'm gonna pay you when I get my tax money season.
Yeah.
Because we at that time, you know, the W-4s all the W-2s all gotta be sent out by when? Next week, the end of the
Right.
month.
Uh-huh.
So they're gonna start doing that. And then, you know, we live in a capitalistic society. A lot of the what do you call it? Tax
Check that.
preparer,
Mm-hmm.
the tax preparation places, you know, they started doing the thing. Hold on, let me decline this call. Okay. Can you still hear me? Because I know
I can hear you.
sometimes. Okay. You know, they started doing this thing where, okay, we'll go ahead and give you your money, but they're going to charge you a fee. You know how they give you your projected. And that's just the way, like, if you don't want to wait
Yeah.
on the standard amount of time to get your refund check. So they didn't even figure out a way to make money off of you that way.
Right.
Because you're looking at it like, you know, if you somebody that's getting $5,000 or $6,000 back and they
Mm-hmm.
want $100, that's like monopoly money at this point.
Right.
It ain't like $100 on a regular day of the week when you ain't
Mm-hmm.
getting no check for 6,000. Because you know, on a regular day of the week, you like $100. You gonna
Right.
charge me $100 for what? But
Right.
see,
For my
they know
money.
the mentality is, shoot, that ain't nothing out of that big chunk of change. But
Yeah.
that's your money that the government is paying you back, and you still giving part of it to somebody else to speed up the process. Well, you could have speeded up the process by getting that money all year long. And then
Right.
you won't even have to wait until now
Right.
because you're getting it in your paycheck.
Right. So here's the thing. People don't know this too, is you waiting all year long to get some money that was already yours. All the while, every month, you may have been paying a late fee. You may have
Right,
been paying interest on a loan that you could have easily took the money back from the government and start paying off the debt faster, and you don't lose the money in interest. See, people got to realize you got to reverse the cycle of how your money is being allocated to the banks and to the government. If you were putting that money back into your pocket, you're the first one to get paid. You should be able to pay your bills first and invest, right? Instead of allowing the government to take your overpayment and
right,
start doing whatever they want to do with it. It's about you. You take care of
right,
control. It's about being a good steward of your own money, and you're abusing, or you're allowing somebody else to use it, you lose in the end.
right. And you
Hmm.
know, I'm not gonna sit here like I've been knowing all this stuff for years. Um, hold on, let me see. We got a comment. It says in Jamaica, if you are working 7,000 per week, you have to
Ooh,
spend 2,000 for bus fare,
wow.
lunch 1,000 per day.
Ooh,
How much do you get to bring home?
oh my
You ain't
goodness.
bringing home much
Oh my goodness.
because
Oh,
that's 3,000 off the top.
wow. Mm,
Thank you for sharing that information, Robert, because and you know, you don't think about that when it's just part of your everyday process. It's kind of like when I was living down in the Miami area, I went ahead and bought the what do you call it? The Sun Pass.
oh yeah,
And
yeah.
you didn't even really think about that. Every time you went through one of those toll things, they were taking money out of your account. It just ended up being, well, that's just how it is. You know, you don't think about the fact that it's really coming out. It gets to the point you don't even pay attention to that little beat when you go through because that's just a part of the thing. But what I was saying before, I'm not gonna sit here and pretend like I knew all of this information prior to joining my econ because I'm gonna confess something. I remember back in 2000 and probably 2004, 2005, I had started a job and another girl had started around the same time, and we were talking about, taxes and stuff. And she was like, well, I go ahead and get my taxes during the year. I make sure, that was back when you were still putting whatever the number is. And she was like, I make sure I bring my money home. Me, not knowing, I'm like, well, I kind of treat mine like a savings account. And I wait to the end of the year and just get it then. And when I joined my econ and I thought about what I had said back then, it just made me feel
Yeah.
like, what you don't even know what you were saying. You don't
Right.
even know what you were saying. It sounded like a good idea when it was coming out of my mouth.
Hey,
But
well, hey,
see,
let's talk about that form that the government put out a couple of years ago about how when people overpay their taxes, they're simply
they
um,
they're
losing money in a savings
treating it
account.
like a forced
And
savings account.
right, and then they said a better option. And look, the government said this: the better option would be to pay off some debt and invest it instead of letting them hold it. Now, the government said that. So why are we not even taking the advice, which to me is sound advice, to actually utilize your own money throughout the year instead of waiting on it at the end?
And honey, and that's just like you know what, old folks moment. Cause I
Mm.
completely just lost my thought. I don't even
Uh-oh.
know what I was finna say. What was
Be
I
more
gonna
careful.
say? It was
I don't
good
know.
too.
It was
It was
good.
good. I was finna say something about what we were talking about. I'll lose Tony. Come on back, Tony. But anyway, I was about to say something related to the
We're gonna
whole
blame yours. We're gonna blame your
oh,
internet.
you bet. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. I'll take that. I'll
Okay.
take that.
So, hey,
But
let's
go ahead.
roll on what Robert had said a little while ago. He talked about the travel and the food.
Mm-hmm.
Let's talk about, and I don't know Jamaica and the United States are any different, but look, in America, if you have
Oh, it's
bus
different.
fare and food and cell phones, our business teaches you how to lower your taxes with things that you're already spending money on. So if Jamaica, and I'm almost certain Jamaica and my econ don't mix well, but if you were in my econ, we could show you how to get that money back from the government that they're charging those outlandish fees for, for travel and food, you know?
Right. Because, like you said, the big businesses and the people, the powers that be that knows the tax game have
Yeah.
been doing this for years. They
Years.
have turned their lifestyle, they've
Hmm.
turned their business, how do I want to put it? They made their lifestyle their business.
Right.
Like they aren't two separate things.
Hmm.
Because you got to think about it. When the former president was flying down to wherever his
Mar-a-Lago.
place was, yeah,
Mar-a-Lago. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure he figured out a way to make
Right
that
now.
a business trip because
Right.
that's the type of thing that he knew the game.
Yeah.
That's why, a couple of years ago, it was a big deal about the tax returns. And I'm not saying he cheat on his taxes. I don't know what the man did. But I
Hmm.
do know that he know the rules to the game. So he knew what to do, you know, to be on the right side if he need to be. So like just think about it, like Tony said, everyday expenses. I'm using my cell phone to do this live. That makes my cell phone a business expense because I use it to run my business. So automatically I've made that a tax deduction. So the money that I'm spending every month, not the entire amount. Well, no, in my case, it would be the entire amount because I have a home phone. But anyway, I'm able to write off my cell phone bill monthly because it is a business expense. Now, do I use the same phone to make personal calls sometimes? Yeah. But the majority, and I can be honest and say this, the majority of my time is spent doing videos, doing TikToks, sharing stuff about the business on Facebook. I'm not lying when I say that this is a business expense.
Absolutely.
The same thing about last year when the girls started, year before last, when they started selling the hand sanitizer. Okay, every time we did a shipment, Tony and I had to get in our car, drive to the post office.
Hmm.
We had to stand in line, pay for the shipping. We had to do all of that. Now,
Hmm.
did I stop and do some other stuff on my way to the post office?
Hmm.
Yeah. But because I left my home to go conduct business by mailing out the hand sanitizer, my mileage is now a tax deduction
Hmm.
because those miles were spent on something for business. So it's like there are so many things that you can write off and deduct. Hold your book up, Tony. 475 tax deductions that you can write off when you have a home-based business or your own business. Hey, cuz, I see my cuz, Dion is up in the chat. What's up, cuz? It's good to see you over
Okay.
here.
Yeah.
Um, and what did Robert say? Robert said you do not have that in Jamaica. That only go for richer class of people.
Ugh.
Are you in Jamaica now, Robert? Or are you here? Because I'm like, if you here, uh, you better
I,
sign up.
I hate
Sign
to
up
tell
with
you, it ain't just for richer people. It's for the people that actually know and want to know is how you become wealthy and rich. Is not playing the other side of the game. Is where you're losing tax
right.
dollars. You know.
And you know what? It's that mentality though, because a lot of us feel that way. That is for the rich people or for the other persuasion of people. It's
Right.
not meant for us. If you
Yeah.
have that mentality up here, but see the thing of it is when they wrote out this information, when the IRS set up these rules, they didn't have a particular, well, they couldn't put in the thing a
Yeah.
particular person. You know
Right.
what I mean?
Yeah. Of color.
Whether whether or not they meant for it to be a particular class, they couldn't
Right.
put that in the statement.
Yeah.
So basically, anybody who goes in, reads the information, applies the information, can use the information. It doesn't matter where you're from. They don't care that me and Tony from Cortland and we not from
Mhm.
Beverly Hills. They
Right.
don't care that he an auto worker and I'm a coach. They don't care about none of that.
They don't care about that.
If you apply the rules, then you can benefit. But
Absolutely.
you have to go over and read and apply the rules. You can't just, you know, expect somebody to come knock on your door and give you the information. It's out there. What do they say? Hidden in plain sight.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, they hide it on the World Wide Web.
You know what? I mean, I'm glad he said it. I think that this business is so beneficial to a lot of people because the fact that it's not being taught in school, and then they make you feel like
I got you, Chris.
it's
Sorry.
only a particular a race of people that can benefit from it. And I can tell you, hands down, just being in this business, I've connected with a lot of Puerto Rican, black, Hispanics, white. I don't care what nationality you want to call it. If you apply yourself to the tax system and the tax codes, they cannot deny you of that. You know what I'm saying? So I
Right.
just say be bold in getting this information and be intentional about applying the information, and you'll start to see some positive cash flow cycles coming into your into play.
Right. Because, we had quite a few people that took advantage of the giving to the herds. And
Yeah.
I'm hoping to see that they're going to dive in and take advantage. That was the first major step to sign up. The next step now is to start applying. And I'm not going to say it's something that you just gonna take off running. I tell my story all the time. I signed up in November. I didn't even share the information until the first of the year. So, you gotta get in and understand what you have in order to be able to appreciate it. But you can start sharing it immediately.
Yeah.
This business goes out of its way to make it available for you to share under any circumstance. You can
Yeah.
text, you can email, you can upload, whatever media form of media you want to use to share it.
Hmm.
That's what we have access to. So I just think the next big step after signing up is let's dive in and see what we got.
Hey, did you have somebody with a question?
No.
Okay, look, let's talk a little bit about this. So
Robert was just saying how expensive a loaf of bread was over there, $420.
right. Wow, that's crazy. So let's talk a little bit about how, like if we would have gotten this information back in our 20s and how we can actually give this information to our kids, right? So, social media is so big, people don't have to go door to door to share business, right? Social media is so big. And I'm going to tell you, if you got kids that are 18, 19, 20 years old, I would say go ahead and have them invest into this type of business so they can understand taxes, they can understand credit, they can understand how they can make some money at home. On their cell phones and on their tablets. This information is a necessity for you to become wealthy. It's not just for a certain class of people. I'm telling y'all, the reason why a lot of us are struggling is because we don't understand the tax system, and the information they're sharing is not our history, it's their history, right?
Right.
So they're not
Right.
going to tell you everything about getting wealthy. You're going to have to plug into a financial service system that we have set in place to kind of help educate and share it out to other people, right? That's the only
Yeah.
way this thing gonna work out.
Because it's funny, I was telling you earlier, I was talking to my cousin yesterday, and we were kind of talking about how, as far as financial success, as far as knowing about credit and knowing about investments and things like that. Growing up, you just didn't get that. And it wasn't because your parents or your grandparents didn't want you to know. They
They
didn't
didn't
know.
know. They
They
didn't know.
can't tell you what they don't know. And I
Right.
tell people all the time, you know, what my dad told me was go to school, get a job, and pay your bills on time. Now, that's all the financial instructions he could give me because that's all he was armed with.
Mm-hmm.
But it's amazing how in one generation we're able to flip that around because now my daughter is 11 and I can tell her at 11 years old things that I didn't learn until I was 40.
Right.
So, if she mess up, it's gonna be on her with money. Cause she
Mm-hmm.
can't say she wasn't sitting out here prepared and knowing what's gonna happen and what the consequences are. And that's just such a blessing to be able to share. Cause I'm sure if my parents had known what to tell me,
Mm-hmm.
in detail, like we
Yeah.
learned in this business, oh, they
Right.
would have told me.
I'm
They would
sure.
have
I'm sure they
definitely
will. No,
told
nobody, no parent wants to set their kids up for failure, right?
me. No.
Right. So here's my challenge to parents out there. If you're not tech savvy with the computers and social media, why not invest into this membership? It's only 19.95. 30 days after that is 39.95 a month. Invest in this financial service business because I'm telling y'all, these kids are not getting financial information from school. They're going to miss it, and they're going to follow the same path that most of us got from our parents. Like Melissa say, go get a good job, go to school if you can, work hard, stay out of trouble, all of that stuff. But man, I'm telling you, a financial service membership, like I've seen 26-year-olds making 6, 7 figures from home in this business because they are sharing some information to millions of people that have
Mhm.
never heard of this information. And for you to be the GOAT to give it to them, the company compensates. And that's where profits come into play. Look,
Right.
imagine
Interest
if
income.
a million people learn something from you and let's say the company paid you $8 per person. You're making a couple of $100,000 from home. That's how
Mhm.
simple and easy this business is because we know that it's not being taught in school. We
Right.
know that people under 40 are struggling. They're overworked, underpaid, overtaxed. We know because we're in that same little niche. And we can only reach out to so many people our age because we already set in our mind that, hey, it is what it is. I'm going to work till I'm 65, 75. I don't know no other
But they
way
didn't.
because we've been locked up to say, hey, I
Yeah.
got to keep going. But for the younger generation, jobs are getting tough. They ain't paying enough money. They working you to death. Why not uh, empower them with this financial information, and then they can go out and teach it, right? And then
Yeah.
maybe they can invest and learn how to have a better life other than what we've been shown. you know.
Right, because they can take it and put it on their own level. You know, these millennials now, like you were saying, I'm playing around with TikTok, but you know, it took me an hour to do what these kids can do in 5 minutes.
Right.
So they know how to share and provide the information and draw people in, and that's why these millennials are doing so well with this. Like,
Right.
you know, I don't know them all by name, but I know we have a group of young people in the
Yeah.
business, and I've gone and sat over in some of their lives and stuff and felt
They
like I
bringing
was
it.
ancient
They
because they
bringing it. They
was
young,
talking about stuff,
hungry. Yeah.
you know, and they talk about stuff like I'm trying to. I don't even have an iPhone. I'm like I can't follow this, you know. But you get. I bet you my daughter, if she was a little older, she would be
Yeah.
able to grasp what they saying just like that, and she would be able to share. Because these kids, well, I'm calling them kids because they 20s, early 30s, but they six figures, you
Hmm.
know, and all they had to do was get in and realize what we had and how to get the message out. And
Hey,
for
I'm gonna tell
every
y'all.
person, mhm,
Look, I'm gonna tell you, you do not have to have good credit to sell our financial service, our credit repair system. You do not have to have a degree in anything to be able to share this information because it's already been packaged. People get a bad stigma on network marketing, but network marketing does, it gives you more value for less money. Therefore, more people can afford it and get the value out of it, right? So most credit
right,
repair companies are going to charge you anywhere from 300 to 500 to $1,000. Well, our credit repair system is $99 if that's all you want. But if you want access to it for $19, it's free inside of our membership. Why not
right.
go ahead and get the membership so you can have all of these extra memberships combined to get you cash flow positive and get you financially free?
Hello to the Bright family. They said hello, chat. They're over on watching us over on YouTube. And
Okay,
yes, they say
awesome. Hey,
thumbs
y'all.
up the video. Yep, thumbs
Yeah,
up the video.
awesome,
Um,
awesome.
and you know what, Tony? When you were talking about school and having a degree, let me tell you something. When we went to the same high school, and you know, we both took what was it, government or
Yeah,
economics in high school.
yeah, yeah.
I went on to college. I took microeconomics. I took macroeconomics.
Mm,
When I tell you, I didn't know where a tax refund came from. So what good did that really do me personally when I took those classes if I didn't learn something as basic as
okay,
how I get a tax refund? I'm
yeah.
right here thinking it's like Wheel of Fortune. Not Wheel of Fortune, Price is Right. Where you spin in the big wheel. All I knew is, you know, I went into my tax preparer. She gave me a little sheet of paper to fill out. Um, I filled it out and I sat in the other room while she was, you know, all on the computer and
Making all
stuff.
that noise.
Yeah, and I'm sitting in the room like, please don't land on zero. Please don't land on negative. So I'm basically hoping that she don't come out because she gonna come out and say one or
uh,
two things.
yeah.
She gonna come out and say,
You
well,
didn't know
Miss
you owe.
King. Yeah, well, it depends on how she said Miss King. Well, Miss King, like, damn it, how much? How much? You know, so I had no idea how they came up with that formula, and I didn't took these classes. So you know that's why he said it's very true. You don't have to have having a college degree. Don't even put you at an advantage if you don't understand the basics about the tax system. So
Yes.
you don't have to go to Harvard
Hmm.
to learn it.
Hmm.
You know what I
Hmm.
mean?
Hmm.
So, you know, it's true. And then think about, you know, with the credit repair alone, I think people don't realize the value. Credit is king.
Yeah.
You can, it's good to have cash and to be able to pay for things that way, but at some point in your life, you're gonna need some credit. They're gonna
Hmm.
need to be able to look at a history to know how you pay your bills. You telling them I cash my check and I pay it with cash every month, they ain't gonna take your word for it.
Mm-hmm.
You know? And
Right.
then, people don't realize it's five different things that determines your credit score or your FICO score. So if you don't know all five of those things and you only focusing on one part, then you may not be seeing the difference. And
Right.
so you might feel like, because for most of us, because this is how I thought, as long as I paid things on time and paid them off, I was good. I didn't realize there were other factors. And then when I did that and I didn't see my score change, I'm like, well,
What's wrong?
it ain't gonna work. It ain't nothing I can do. I'm gonna always have this, that, and the other. So, but when you think about, and the example I like to use is, Penny, I agree, Penny. Penny said that is the most valuable part of the membership, and it's free with the membership. And it ain't really free, it's giving you money. Because
Mm-hmm.
if you start off with a credit score, let's say in the low 600s, and you go to buy something that costs, say, $1,000, and your interest rate is 15%.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if you get in my econ, you do the credit repair system, learn how to repair your own credit. 6 months later, you've gotten your score to a place where when you go buy that same item for
Mm-hmm.
$1,000, they only putting 4.9% interest on it.
Mm-hmm.
That just put money back in your pocket.
Right.
Because it'd be like, I think the example I used before, me and Tony went to the dealership, we got the exact same car, same model, same make. Both of us paid, the price said 20,000. His interest rate is 3.5. Mine
Mm-hmm.
is 16.
Hey,
So
with
we
no
got
down payment. I get no down payment. You got to put down 2,000.
right. And then they throwing extra stuff in there for you, free oil changes and stuff. And it's like we literally have the same car that's valued at the same price, but I'm probably paying twice as much or
Mm-hmm.
almost more than half as much for that same car than he
Mm-hmm.
is, only because
My credit
he
score.
has learned to, keep the factors that affect his credit score and how to keep them down. So I could have went 6 months later, and or I ain't gonna say 6 months, let's say a year later, and did the same thing, and maybe instead of 15%, now I'm down to 7%. He
Mm-hmm.
still got it for 3.5, but I'm still winning because I done knocked some of that interest off. Because
Right.
we know interest is where they eat you up.
Right.
People don't realize, it's like they sliding in and you like, well, that's just a part of it, you
Mm-hmm.
know. But you don't even look at, like, when I was applying for credit cards, I never thought to look at what the APR was, the annual percentage rate. I didn't think about it. I didn't know what it was. So how I know to look at it? And
Mm-hmm.
then they would put in small writing. They would say put in the regular type, minimum due $25. Then they might put in some fine print. If you pay the minimum due, it's gonna take you 6 years
Mm-hmm.
to pay off this thing. And the only thing you looking at, well, $25, I can do that. Well, if you're paying $25 and say 10 of it is going towards interest, you're really only paying 15.
Right.
But we don't think about it that way because
Yeah.
they don't want us to think about it that way.
Yeah.
It's by design.
That's by
Because
design.
the only way big business is going to thrive is if we don't realize things,
The
little
game.
things like that.
Yeah. We don't recognize the game. Yeah. Absolutely.
Right.
So what we at? We have 45 seconds. So look, say I know we put a lot on y'all, but we just trying to give you guys some eye-opening experiences about how taxes can affect your pay, how bad spending habits and interest can affect your money. So we just want to put you guys on game with a simple membership that we offer. Like I say,
Mm-hmm.
we're not credit repair specialists. We're not financial advisors. We bought into a system that educates. Things that are not being taught in school is the reason why most people are struggling today. And we want to be able to offer that to you guys at a discounted rate. Right now, it's $19.95 to get started. We say trial it, see what it's all about. I do have a couple of coupons left over from last week. So
Mm-hmm.
anybody interested, I'm gifting out $9.95 off of the 19.95. So you can start for ten
10
dollars,
bucks.
$10.
10 bucks.
Anybody that want to give it a shot, see what it's all about. Hey, type I'm ready, 10, whatever you want to do, and we'll reach back out to you. Me and Melissa will be glad to get you guys connected, right?
Right. And that's what I was going to, when I lost that thought earlier, I was
Okay.
going to say, I put out a post yesterday because I got a thing in my email telling me your account has been charged 19 whatever for Netflix. And
Okay.
a lot of us have those type memberships where they're taking it out monthly and we don't even look at it. A
Don't
lot
even
of us
look at
don't
it.
even check our email anyway. So if they're
Right.
sending you a statement via email, you may
Mm.
not have even realized that the price just
It
recently
went
went
up.
up
It went
because
up.
it was like 17. When I
Right.
first started, it was like 12, I
Right.
think.
Mine was
Now
10.
it's up to 19.
10.99.
And how many millions of people have Netflix? Now I know a lot of us share our Netflix, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But still, overall picture, you're paying, if you are one that's paying, you paying $19 a month for Netflix. How often are you actually even watching the shows? So yeah, you get entertainment, but for $39.95, and that's why I put on the thing. If you get this statement every month saying they just charge your account $19 for Netflix and you don't even flinch, then you got the money to start your own business. And when you start your own business with us, you're gonna learn something that's gonna bring in more money. So it's like we giving you the keys for you to get the car. We not just selling you the car. When we sell you the car, we getting you the instructions to go pick up some more money.
Mm-hmm.
So this business is exactly that. It's a vehicle. You use this business as a vehicle to bring in even more money. So if
That's
you
right.
gotta spend $39.95 once a month to learn how to put $1,000 a month back into your
Easy.
finances,
Easily.
who
Easily.
really are you really even spending any money?
Yeah. Now you know what, Melissa, not only are we showing you how to make the money, we're actually showing you how to save the money that you're
And
losing
invest it.
and invest it. So that's the key. Not We're not trying to say you're going to make $1 million tomorrow, but we're going to
No,
show you how to plug those holes where most working class are losing it through the tax system, the banking system, and through interest. So once you
right,
plug the gaps, then you'll start to see this positive cash flow that's coming back into your pocket.
right. And I'll be honest, I can appreciate plugging up those holes more than if I was receiving. Because what if I'm receiving $1,000 a month and
And
I
then going
don't
through.
know how to manage the
Yeah,
money?
yeah.
I ain't
You're gonna
really
lose.
getting $1,000 a month.
You're not.
But if I'm saving $1,000 a month,
Hmm.
the results are even better.
Yeah.
So
Now go show somebody else how you save that 1,000, and then we all win.
is that our Angela? I see Angela's Canvas Delight, and I know Angela that used to come
Mm,
in the chat all the time. She
I don't
paints. She
know.
loves to do the
Okay,
painting.
that may be her. Got
So
a new
I'm
name?
thinking that might be her. Hey Angela, let
Okay.
us know if that's
Oh,
you.
shoot.
Turn it why you didn't flip? Yeah, that must be her because she's speaking to Pandy too. We missed you, Angela. Happy New Year. Only one we hadn't seen Benj Thinker yet. She's our other regular on YouTube that usually come through and show us some love. Angela, Benj Thinker, Pandy, the Hood Table, uh, who else? Deanna Urban, Lady Nika. Thank y'all so much for following us over on YouTube. Thank you for following us over on Facebook. We try to get on here and share as much as we can in these quick 30 uh and 30 to 45 minute videos. But honestly, it's so much information and it's so beneficial. We can't fit it all in. And besides, we pay $39.95 a month to learn this information. So we're just trying to share it with you so you can, learn what we're learning. We try to share as much as we can, but we can only fit so much in. Okay, Angela. Oh, Angela, I hope you're feeling better. She said she had Rona. Oh wow. I hope you're feeling better. Um, and we missed you too. I'm so glad that you're feeling better enough to come back. It's always good to see you. You always bring a positive spin to the chat. So man, I hope 2022 is a good year for you. And tell Ronald to take his tail on somewhere. You don't want to be bothered with that. Now I don't know what's happening to Tony. Maybe his phone died. Usually by now he'd been popped back up, but I don't see him popping back up. So what I'm gonna say is thank y'all for joining us tonight. I hope you take something away from it positive. I hope if you heard something that sounds like you want to get started, that you will reach out to Tony and myself. We are both on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram. Let me see if he sent me a message. Okay, he didn't. Okay, his phone must have died. But anyway, reach out to us if there's any way that we can help you. We will. For those of you that got started with our Giving Till It Hurts special, where you signed up last week, reach out to us if you need any help with anything, uh, learning your back office, anything like that. We did a video within the Legacy Builders, and if you're a new member, you know what I'm talking about. We did a video on how to get started over there on Monday, so you can go and check that out. Um, Pandy, thanks for joining us. Angela, thanks for coming through. Robert King, thanks for coming through and participating in the chat. Cuz Dion, thank you for coming through. The Bright family, we appreciate y'all for coming through this evening. And make sure I ain't miss nobody. Darnell, thanks again for sharing the post over on Facebook. And I'm gonna say good night for me and Tony, y'all, because yeah, I think his phone must have died. So y'all have a good weekend, and we'll see y'all next go around. Bye.